Hello friends, so we're going to go ahead and practice our rule cards. This is for list I-3. Alright, so this rule says C says S before E, I, and Y. G may say J before E, I, and Y. A, E, O, U. You usually say A, E, O, U at the end of the syllable. The vowel sound changes because of the E. English words do not end in V or U. C says S and G says J because of the E. Every syllable needs a vowel. A silent final E that does any odd job not covered in the other four. Abbreviations. Abbreviations uses a few letters to make a bigger word, or to represent a bigger word. We often double F, L, and S after a single vowel at the end of a base word. We occasionally double these letters in the same way. A and Y usually say A and Y at the end of the base word. When a word ends with A, it says ah. It's the third sound in ah, isn't it? O and I may say O and I before two consonants. So for old, that was one of your spelling words. That's why old could say O, not ald, because it had an L and a D following it. And those are two consonants, aren't they? And one vowel. To make a word plural, just add an S. Unless the word ends in hiss, or unless the ending of the word hisses, changes, or may end with an O. In these cases, add ES. So I want to explain that a little bit because that can be a little bit confusing. So basically what it's saying is to make a word plural, or like when you want to say dogs, you'd add an S. Dog to dogs, you add an S. Unless the ending of the word hisses. So these are the hissing ending sounds. Ch. Listen to see how they hiss. Ch. Sh. X. Z. 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 They all hiss, don't they? All right, that's one reason why to not just add an S. The second reason is changes. So, wife, as an example, wife, if there's many wives came to a gathering, it doesn't sound like wife. It sounds like wives. It changes to a V. All right, or, for example, fly. That ends with a Y. But when plural, it goes to be an I. Or, if the word ends in O, like tomato, any of those reasons, you would add an ES to the end of the word. All right, and occasionally, words have no change at all, like as in sheep. You don't say sheeps, you say sheep. an internal change, like men or man changes to men. The middle sound changes. Or a foreign spelling, which we won't worry about that till a while back. All right. Capitalize individual names, places, or things. Like names would be like Miss Love, you would capitalize Miss Love. Places would be like Sweetwater, Arizona, or Arizona you would capitalize too. Or things like the Bible you would capitalize because that is a book. That's important. It's the title of a book. All right, our next rule is Z, never S, is used to say Z at the beginning of a base word. So for zoo, zip, and zero, those are all at the beginning of a base word, and so they will be only Z, not Z. Ed, past tense ed, forms another syllable if the base word ends with a D or a T. So let's try that again to make it more fun to say. ED, past tense ED, forms another syllable if the base word ends with a D or a T. If not, ED sounds like either a D or T. Contractions replaces a letter or letters with an apostrophe to contract or shorten a phrase. And we're at the beginning again. All right, go ahead and watch this a couple times this week so you really are able to say these on your own, and you won't even have to. You could probably eventually, once you really get these down, you could probably put me on mute and try to say them all by yourself. I bet you guys could do that. All right, I know there's a lot to memorize, but a lot of these you have seen a lot this year. All right, you guys are doing an awesome job. Keep up the good work. I'll see ya. Bye.